The Fantasy Skirmisher.
Hey everyone, this is Nevin and welcome back to the Fantasy Skirmisher. Today we're going to talk about Tenfold Dungeon and I'm going to review a couple sets. So back in early 2019, I backed Tenfold Dungeon by Room 17, which had an expected delivery date of March 2020. Then the unexpected happened. First, the pandemic hit and slowed down the production process. Then the Room 17 staff left, leaving the managing director to see it through. And we can't forget about the uncertainty of Brexit, as this was a UK-backed project. Then after many delays and then me paying additional shipping, the product was finally bound for the US and South American backers. And then tragedy struck. The cargo ship where Tenfold Dungeon was on hit a severe storm and lost about a quarter of its cargo. So it had to turn back and went into a port in Japan where they kind of sort through everything and determine what they had lost and what was okay. So there was just a long wait that ensued, and so just more waiting. At that time, I kind of stopped keeping track of what was going on because it had been so long already. But meanwhile, backers from the other parts of the world still had their products stuck in port in China. Just wasn't moving. So the project seemed irretrievably lost, and the poor creator had a nervous breakdown. So it turned out that the US-bound shipment was not lost at sea, and it eventually set sail again after a long delay. Then one day, I had received an email from a US distributor informing me that they had received the shipment, and if I still wanted it, I would need to pay shipping again. So I decided to pay it, and it was promptly shipped to me. But for the rest of the world, good news came in the fall of 2021 that Gale Force 9 stepped in and rescued the project. Their priority was to get Tenfold Dungeon to the rest of the Kickstarter backers. So after taking care of the backers, the plan is Gale Force 9 will continue to develop the Tenfold Dungeon brand. So there are 5 Tenfold Dungeon sets. The Facility, which is a sci-fi set. The Temple, which seems really perfect for desert settings. The Town, as in a medieval fantasy town. And the 2 sets that you're looking at right here that I'm going to review today, which is the Castle and Dungeons and Sewers. So the dimensions for each set in inches is 14.5 by 12 by 5. So let me give you a better idea as far as how it compares to, say, a D&D Essential Kits box. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the first castle set. Taking a look at the back of the castle box, you can see that it comes with 2 gates and 10 doors. They're double-sided with open and closed artwork. It comes with 6 staircases, 7 walls, and 1 trap door. And 48 plastic clips, which include corner clips, T-clips, and door clips. And then there's 12 boxes, and the boxes are the rooms in Tenfold Dungeon, which we'll see in just a sec. But there's 12 rooms that have beautiful artwork, and the rooms include a hall, courtyard, chapel, entrance, bedroom, kitchen, barracks, a modest bedroom, ramparts, flooded ramparts, a plush corridor, and a secret corridor. So now let's open it up and let's take a look inside. All right, now let's remove the sleeve and take a look at the Tenfold Dungeon boxes. So as you can see here, that has 2 large boxes which close together, which contain the other boxes, walls, clips, so on and so forth. So remove this, and you can see what we have here is a courtyard, and it's got just beautiful artwork on all sides, including the back, which can be used as a platform of some type. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And then here's some loose wall pieces. A friend and I played a game of Frostgrave using these 2 sets. So after we take a look at the castle and then the Dungeon and Sewers, I'll go ahead and I'll put these sets together with some scatter terrain, some miniatures, so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like all put together. So we've got internal wall pieces and some more boxes, which are rooms. So you can see that you've got the windows, the light coming through and glowing on the floor there. Just really, really beautiful artwork. And the quality of the cardboard is really nice too. It's very solid, and I think it'll withstand reasonably to normal play and wear and tear. There's another room. So you can see it's got wall art, mirror, a window. Looks like a Mona Lisa with a skull. And keep going here. Got a nice fireplace, and it even has the glow of the fire on the floor. So again, just very beautiful lighting effects that they did. The art design, yeah, I think is just outstanding. And here you can see some archery targets, some arms. So this could be an armory, wood floors. And like I said, this could be used upside down for walls, So it's got a lot of flexibility as far as its usage. Another wood floor, looks like with a tapestry, another fire, some windows. It looks like you got a elk mounted. And then we've got the plastic clips, and we'll take a closer look at them as we set this up. And lots of loose pieces, which we'll also take a closer look at, such as stairs, doors. So the doors you insert into the plastic clips, which go over the walls. And that enables you to connect the rooms. So missing the side piece there, but some more stairs that my friend and I put together. And just lots and lots of pieces here, as you can see. So we're going to remove all these. Oh, I do want to share this. So this was a door clip, and we inserted the doors in. And you'll notice that there's a piece right here that's broken. So one thing you need to keep in mind is just be careful with this plastic because it is kind of brittle. And this is the one piece that we broke, and we kind of learned our lesson after that, that you do need to be careful when you're inserting the door pieces into the clips. And you can see the open doors, closed doors. Lots of variety here. And here we've got all the corridors. And each one has its unique features to it. This one looks like it's got some sludge, where the other one looked cleaner. And this looks like it has a blood stain right here with the carpet going along, and it's got some lanterns. Cobweb on the side. And it looks like this could be stairs, like coming down to the entryway to lead into the castle. And then my favorite room right here, just absolutely beautiful. Just look at that detail. All right, we have the table all set up. And my gaming table is a table topper with a 3-foot by 3-foot play area. And you can see that the castle Tenfold Dungeon set here takes up just about all the space. So here I set up a rampart. I've got the courtyard. Looks like some kind of summoning is going on here. And to get to the dungeon level, which we're going to look at next, you got to go through that trap door, but you have to get through that giant spider first. And we have a bedroom area, and this could lead up to a second level of the castle. A study, hallway. We have a kitchen area. And we have the armory here. And a chapel. Now the clips. So you just take 2 door pieces and artwork. Let me pull this out here. On one side you have closed door, you have open on the other, and you just put them on the clips and then insert it right onto the cardboard there. And it also helps connect, the boxes just to keep them from moving around. But really, I don't see that being too much of an issue. So like I said, a friend and I, we played Frostgrave using a combination of this set and the dungeon set on a 4x4 table. And we had a great time. It worked really well for skirmish gaming, and I imagine it would work fantastic as well for Dungeons & Dragons or any other role-playing game system. So what we're going to do now is break out the Dungeon and Sewer set and see what's inside the box. The Dungeon and Sewer set comes with 2 gates and 10 doors, 6 staircases, 6 walls, and 2 pit traps. And it also has 48 plastic clips, corner clips, T-clips, and door clips. The corner clips and T-clips are for the walls, so that way you could make smaller rooms out of the larger rooms. And the 12 rooms that this set comes with is the cistern, sewers crossing, dark water, monster lair, staircase, the cell, corridor, overflow grill, flooded corridor, broken corridor, rat infestation, and sewer corridor. All right, now let's remove the sleeve and see what's inside. All right, so our first large room. This looks like some grates that you could walk over the water. And just like all the other ones, they're printed on all sides, and you could use these for platforms for other type of builds. And if you notice, all these sets have 1 inch by 1 inch grid, so that way you can use those for role-playing games. And of course, I'm sure you could use it for some skirmish games, but if you're like myself, like using an old-fashioned ruler. All right, so moving on. So we got our door and our wall clips. And here you got a stairway. It's kind of cool. And some of the doors, see, these are different artwork than the castle set. It's a little more dingy. It's got the cobwebs and roots and vines. And a small corridor. And a larger one. Here's one of the walls. And this is kind of neat, a watery room with stepping stones along the side. And you got grate and water spilling out of the one side there. It's kind of a tight fit. This is a real tight fit. All right, so, well, you can see two corridors here, right? And I'm having a difficult time trying to work around the camera to get these two out. There we go, finally. All right. So here's the two corridors. And a medium-sized room. Looks like more water with a bridge going across. And some more loose pieces from when my friend and I broke this out. So we got some small doors for the corridors, another wall divide. Here you can have a pit with some water or something a little more toxic looking. Spike pit, or just a deep one. And stairs. So lots of nice little customizable bits that you can add to the Tenfold Dungeon set. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this upside down here. And here's the other large room. So see, it's got lots of stairs in it. Very cool artwork. And some of the punch boards that we haven't gotten to. So see, these are the ladders here. And more doors. So the open side and the closed side. Here's the stairs punch board. And it's interesting, kind of the purple matches the table war dungeon floor set pretty well. And then we've got 3 long corridors here. And a few more walls. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get this all set up. Some of the things I was supposed to receive as a Kickstarter backer was an exclusive box set of a infested marsh. The artwork looked fantastic, but that just never panned out with world events overtaking this project. And also, it was supposed to come with 3D printed doors and torch clips, so that would really just add to the immersion of the dungeon, as opposed to using the cardboard doors with the hard clear plastic clips that snap onto it. But I did receive STL files so I could 3D print them myself, and I do have a resin 3D printer, so at some point I do plan to print them up. It's just a little difficult for me because I live in a small Manhattan apartment, and 3D printing can be kind of messy and smelly, so but I do plan to do it at some point this year. Also, as you can see here, it's supposed to come with a couple of card sets. One that you see is an event deck, and then also a dungeon deck. So this would be great for solitaire players, for people playing RPGs where you could just create random dungeons. So you draw a card, and you can see where there's the door entry right there you come through, and the letters are where you would place whatever monsters or minions that the other card deck would have. So for example, here we got the sewer crossing. Within the city sewers, nightmare creatures and deranged cults lurk. At this crossing, you can chance upon any number of dangers. And then what you do is you'd draw an encounter card, and then it shows you what to put at what letter points. So this one right here, it says to place suitable leveled enemies on the following points. So you've got 2 grunt minions at points A and E, 2 ranged minions at B and D, and nothing on the C space. So I have that already set up at the table, so we kind of see what that looks like in play. So let's move over. So we drew the dungeon card, laid down the room, and then we drew the event card and placed the minions where we were directed to, with the 2 ranged and the 2 regular minions. And you can see they're cultists, which kind of adds to the theme of the flavor text of the card. And these are our adventurers that went through the castle and made their way down to the dungeon level. So here we have the wide-angled view, and you can see that the Dungeons and Sewer set also takes up my 3x3 table space. So putting the 2 together would just make for a massive, massive gaming table. All right, now let's take a look at some of the details of the sets. Looks like there's some type of spider egg there. Oh, there's something I want to point out just to be mindful of. So when you're clipping a tall wall and a short wall together with the door, just make sure that this plastic piece here, you kind of, with your fingernail, move it out enough just so it clears that short wall space. Because if you try to force it, you can damage the cardboard. So that's just a little hot tip as far as inserting doors. And after you've done it a few times, it's very easy. And going back to the room we just looked at from the opposite angle. Then you got the ladder wall there. So overall, I am very happy with Tenfold Dungeon. I would say that it's very affordable price point for how much play area you get, and I've seen it online for between 50 and 60 US dollars. It's available on several online stores, and a friend of mine was in San Jose and he saw boxes stacked up at Game Castle. So I know they are available at your local gaming stores as well. So you just need to look around. They're not too difficult to find. And I've also seen them available on eBay. What's going to be interesting to see is what Gale Force 9 does with this. And hopefully they'll professionally print those cards that I showed you, and also the 3D doors and all that. But I don't want to wait for them because I looked on the website last night and I did not see any information on Tenfold Dungeon. So just so I can go ahead and get started, I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. And then I will post some content on the channel for you. All right, thank you for watching the Fantasy Skirmisher, and I will see you next time.